As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has devastated the live music industry, but we're all working hard to help those who really need it. Therefore, we're donating 50% of the proceeds generated from our show to help other artists, musicians, and production personnel who need it. Please join us and consider giving what you can to this worthy cause. No amount is too small. Thank you for your support.
Self-love is hugely important to being an artist because you have to believe in yourself first and you have to understand what it is you're trying to make, which takes a lot of compassionate attention. So I found that self-love and setting up structures to take care of yourself is the key to resilience as an artist, and it sets you up to take risks, and you need to take risks to succeed.
She said I alone can save you, so it's over. She said I alone can save you.
I gotta get you under pressure cause I'm going insane. I thought about it and I know what I'm saying. I gotta get you under pressure cause you're making me wait for it. And baby, you seem to be leaving like you got an escape, but you should see the smile left on your face. Got up in your head and now you gon' meditate on it.
Oh, she took control my body. I had a brain, but she took that good one from. Oh, she took control my body. Out in the rain, that's what she do when she kisses. Then she said in my ear, it's over. She said I alone can save you, so it's over. She said I alone can save you.
I gotta get you under pressure cause I'm going insane. I thought about it and I know what I'm saying. I gotta get you under pressure cause you're making me wait for it. And baby, you seem to be leaving like you got an escape, but you should see the smile left on your face. Got up in your head and now you gon' meditate on it. I give you everything that I will win, like diamonds and rubies all over your skin. I know you feel it, you wanna give in, no. You get it, you got it, c'est quand tu veux. Whatever you want, c'est comme tu veux. Mais j'aurais aimé tout ce que tu veux. I gotta get you under pressure cause I'm going insane. I thought about it and I know what I'm saying. I gotta get you under pressure cause you're making me wait for it. And baby, you seem to be leaving like you got an escape, but you should see the smile left on your face. Got up in your head and now you go meditate on it.
Celebrate golden rays, got me feeling good. All is rose, I'm on Hollywood. Celebrate golden rays, got me feeling good.
We were driving down Mulholland. She was everything I wanted.
Hi, my name is NISHA, and this is my story. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm Indian, Nigerian-born, and an American immigrant. And as a third culture kid, my music is really a reflection of all of my experiences and all of my influences. So my journey with music has taken a lot of small steps and a lot of perseverance, but I started singing and dancing from a very early age. I think I picked up a mic when I was about 4 years old. I come from a very extroverted and musical family. Growing up in South Asian culture, dancing and singing is such a part of our entertainment, and it's a part of how we used to play together as a family. My dad wanted to start a family band, so he put my brother and sister and I together, and I was the lead singer, and we used to perform for people's weddings. I grew up with the influences of listening to Afro beats, listening to bhajans, because my mom was a really beautiful singer, is a really beautiful singer, as well as pop and rock. And then my brother and sister introduced me to hip hop and to indie rock music. So when I was 10, we moved to the United States from Lagos, Nigeria. And that was a very difficult transition, which led to me finding that singing in choir, and when I was singing music, that was the place that I found a sense of community that planted a very deep love of music in me. And around that time, I bought my first Mariah Carey tape, and I became obsessed with it, and I used to play it on my speakers and lie between the two speakers and listen to that music over and over again. And that's when I first became obsessed with the idea of being a performer and being a singer. Music was another world that no matter what was going on, I could just disappear into it. It was a place where I found my sense of belonging.
They don't know what it's about. They keep looking but they can't seem to figure it out. They see only what they want. You keep hiding but I'm standing right in front. Standing right in front. In the high life, in the high life, all I care about is you tonight. All I care about is you tonight. In the high life, in the high life, all I care about is you. All I care about is you tonight. Yeah. I don't ask what people say. They're gonna have their own opinions anyway. Shouldn't change what people do. I'm gonna take my heart and lay it down on you. Lay it down on you. I will lay it down in the high life. In the high life, all I care about is you. All I care about is you tonight. In the high life, in the high life, all I care about is you. All I care about is tonight. Yeah. Yeah. All I care about is you, 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 you.
Hello, I'm John Garcia, owner of Diversity Wireless Partners. We are located at the corner of Winnetka Avenue and Sherman Way in the city of Winnetka, California. We, along with AT&T, are here to serve our community's wireless, broadband, and TV needs. We invite you to come in, get to know us, and see what we have to offer. We have some great promotions and great selections of phones, tablets, and services to choose from. At AT&T, we look forward to meeting you and providing you with excellent service. Thank you.
So my passion for music solidified when I was in high school. I was really lucky to have incredible music educators, both my choir director and my voice teacher. Before I met them, I'd moved to a new school, and my first week of high school, I saw a poster for a student production of The Circle of Life from Lion King. So I dragged along a couple of my friends who were not singers to go to the audition with me because I was very nervous. And we all stood in a line and we sang the solo. And the student who was running the production named Tamara, she came up to me and she was like, I think you have a really good voice. Like, you should really audition by yourself. But I was terrified and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm okay over here. At the end of the audition, my mom had come to pick me up and I was walking out of the auditorium and then I just stopped in my tracks and I turned around and I ran up to her and I was like, can I please just try an audition one more time? And she allowed me and I went up on stage and I closed my eyes and I clenched my fists and I just sang. It was the first time that I allowed myself to sing as loud as I wanted to. And it was a room full of new people, of high school seniors and juniors that I didn't know. I looked up and everyone was kind of looking at me with their jaw open, which I didn't know what was going on, but I was cast as the lead soloist of this production. A few months later, we won our local district competition. And I went from not really having performed in front of people to singing in front of 15,000 people in Florida. And it was just a defining moment for me. It was a moment that made me realize that not only was this a possibility, but it was a possibility for me. And moving forward, I went to a high school with an incredible program. I had amazing music educators, both my choir teacher and my voice teacher, who exposed me to such a full range of music, from classical music to jazz. And then I went to college. I was studying opera, but I was singing jazz in the basement with all the jazz musicians. And I discovered Nina Simone, and I always say Nina Simone kind of liberated me as an artist because she would go from singing folk music and protest music that she wrote to doing jazz covers, to then also covering opera songs. And I found such a sense of freedom in what she did that I dropped out of school and I moved to Paris because I wanted to discover what it was to be an artist. And when I was in Paris, I ended up doing my first solo jazz show there. And when I came back to school, I finished out my degree in studying the intersection of history and music, and how music is a part of social change, and how music can actually be a conduit not just for an individual's self-expression, but a way to tell the story of an entire community.
You left the city heartbroken for a little piece of heaven, like pretty well spoken. You won't fight him in the open, so now you wake up to perfect pictures like it's frozen, yeah. But I'm different, you know at my worst I say it's only indifference. Drink a little wine before I trick and it kicks in, like I wanna say that a given might have fixed it. Sentimental off this liquor got me loose enough. Been a minute since we finished burning bridges down. Ever after I went after paper, plastic, every night another life. But I was missing you in Paris, and I'm so happy that you're getting married. Give my best to everybody's family. I'm still on the road, 20 minutes to the show, but I had to let you know it was magic. All the greatest stories end up tragic. Sending you my love because I'm past it. 20 minutes to the show, but before the curtain call, yeah, I had to let you have it. Ooh, honey, you know the time chose us. I only blew them kisses when their faces looked like yours. Preach to the chorus, we sing to the choir, they ignored us. Nobody saved us. Sentimental off this liquor got me loose enough. Been a minute since we finished burning bridges down. Ever after I went after paper, plastic, every night another life. But I was missing you in Paris, and I'm so happy that you're getting married. Give my best to everybody's family. I'm still on the road, 20 minutes to the show, but I had to let you know it was magic. All the greatest stories end up tragic. Sending you my love because I'm past it. 20 minutes minutes to the show, but before the curtain call, yeah, I had to let you have it. Oh yeah, oh lie. 20 minutes to the show, but before the curtain call, yeah, it was magic. All the greatest stories end up tragic. Sending you my love because I'm past it. 20 minutes to the show, but before the curtain call, yeah, I had to let you have it.
So when I first moved to New York, it was during the recession of 2008, and the music industry had collapsed as well. I went to every open mic in New York City, and eventually there was a director at the New York Poets Cafe, which is in the Lower East Side of New York City, and he booked me for a show, but with the caveat that he only booked original songwriters. At that time, I'd written about 2 songs in my life, but when he told me that, I was like, yep, absolutely. I definitely have an hour of original music. And this was in about February, and I booked the show for May. And during those 3 months, I just jumped into the water and I wrote a bunch of songs and I pulled a band together. Because I really wanted to perform. I didn't intend to write, but it was how I wanted to get back on stage. But through that process, I discovered the magic of songwriting and the power that comes with being able to tell your own story. The biggest struggle that I've had is with self-care and having a tendency to put everything else before myself, including putting my desire for success before myself. And going along with that is learning how to be vulnerable and showing people the totality of myself rather than just the performer, the performative part of what I do. When I moved to New York and I started songwriting and gigging, I loved it so much that I did it almost every day, in addition to working 2, sometimes 3 jobs. And I burned out after a couple of years, and I also discovered that I have Crohn's disease. So I went through a lot physically, and I had surgery, which took me out of my life for about a year, took me out of making music, and I moved home and I had to really reconsider things. And I realized that I needed to have more in my life, and I needed to have structures in place so that I could survive my own ambition and I could have a whole lifetime career of being an artist. After I healed from surgery, I moved back to New York, and I spent a few years writing and teaching music. I had my own studio, and I taught at Clive Davis at NYU. And I ended up writing with one of my students, Daya, at a session in LA with another writer named Toby Gadd. And the song that we wrote was Feel Good by Gryffin and Illenium. And we'd been writing together for a couple of weeks, and at some point Toby pulled me aside and he was like, listen, I'm sure you're like a really great music teacher, but I think you should really give this, you should give it a shot to come to LA and pursue songwriting out here. And that conversation gave me the push and the confidence that I needed to leave a stable job in New York and move out here and kind of start all over in the music industry. So I ended up moving to LA, and after the song came out, I signed with Universal Music as a songwriter. And I went through about a year of doing sessions in LA, and I was writing 6 to 8 songs a week. But I got to the point where I wanted to again tell my own story. And I felt like I was an artist that the music industry didn't really know what to do with because I didn't fit into any box. After a hiatus of 5 years, I released a record called Wendy, and that was like the spark. That was like striking the matchbox for me. But it was such a cathartic experience. It was such a release of me speaking my mind that I kept releasing music, and by the time I got to the song Midas, I knew we had the potential to start a fire.
Gold bottle got you twisted, left like you would is this? A woman don't cry if you wanna go by. You're losing your mind if you think you know. I call you saying you think you brought the gold to Midas, but every rock I roll turned diamond. Into my love, bright as the sun. It's like candy, dear. Take what you want, I'm making love, but don't think you bring the gold to Midas. Got used to shiny new things, forgot they all came from me. A woman don't cry if you wanna go by. You're losing your mind if you think you know. I call you saying you think you brought the gold to Midas, but every rock I roll turned diamond. Into my love, bright as the sun. It's like candy, dear. Take what you want, I'll make it love. Don't think you bring the gold to Midas. Move on my way, have a nice day. I'll be spitting gold, I got bars for days. Move on my way, have a nice day. I'll be spitting gold. Who been serving up your pot of that gold leaf like OG? The young yogi got you holy like a remedy. Show you what you never see, turn it over magically like me and you. It's chemistry, chemistry is destiny. When God bring out the best in me, never let me repeat until I'm ready to rest in peace. I'm talking trash in the treasury, pain in the berry, pleasure, straight ruler, gotta measure. Ain't you ever seen a queen? Spitting gold. Move on out my way, I'll be spitting gold.
So my triumphs in my career have come really in a direct relation to taking ownership and taking command of my own journey, whether that was through teaching or through writing or really finally coming back out as an artist and taking ownership of all the parts of my identity that I had previously tried to hide. Prior to the pandemic, I was performing a lot with my dancers, which has been such a new thing, to bring dance into my performance space and incorporate the elements of South Asian choreography and culture. I've found an incredible community of people. So as a songwriter, I've had some pretty cool moments. The song that I wrote with Toby and Daya, Feel Good, it went gold. And I've had the chance to write music that has charted all over the world, including South Africa, India, Brazil, Israel, and that's been really exciting. And I've written a couple of other things. I wrote Money by Little Michaela. I've had my own music featured on Hulu shows and on Netflix shows, and my favorite part is the performances that I've been able to do. Prior to the pandemic, we performed, my dancers and I performed at Outfest, and we performed at Channing Nicholas's book launch. And while filming and making music videos, I've had a chance to connect with an incredible community of artists and actors, including my friend Nik Dodani, who's in the Figures music video. And we've had a chance just to collaborate as a community in ways that I never thought was possible, because when I was working in isolation, I think when you're working alone as an artist, you can kind of become disheartened because you don't know who's going to understand what you're doing. But what I found is that if you take the risk of putting out whatever you're making, if it's authentic to you, there's a whole group of people just on the other side of that expression who are there and who are also looking for you.
I talked to God, I said you must believe I lost my heart, but he's an honest thief, and no, he's not the one I thought I'd be with again. But every night when she is close to me, I can't describe the way they make me feel. You know, it's like what heaven's meant to be. Tell me why it feels religious, hit it like a paradox, that's just for the limit, only till the pain is gone, wait another minute. Yeah, I know the antidote is you. And everyone's a critic, talking like they had to know how it felt to get it. Then they go confessing, though I've had it, now I'm ready. Yeah, I know the antidote is you. Heaven, heaven, I've been, but you're closer than heaven, heaven, I've been, but you're closer than I close my eyes, I let my thoughts run wild, and I baby, it's compromise. I really try to win the battle with mine, but when you're close, it's easier to see I ain't afraid of what it's done to me, or why it is, if it isn't supposed to be. Tell me, tell me, everyone's a critic, talking like they had to know how I felt to get it. Then they go confessing, no, I've had it, now I'm ready. Yeah, now the antidote is you. No one can save me, it can't stop. Ooh.
How can I be sure that I'm not already in heaven and that all of this is just a dream?
Self-love is hugely important to being an artist because you have to believe in yourself first, and you have to understand what it is you're trying to make, which takes a lot of compassionate attention, not self-critical attention. So I found that self-love and setting up structures to take care of yourself is the key to resilience as an artist, and it sets you up to take risks, and you need to take risks to succeed. So that has been something that, especially over quarantine, when everything shut down and all of our plans shut down, I had to kind of go back to basics and go back to developing routines for things that I could do on a daily basis just to feel good about myself. And through that process, my team pulled together a quarantine miracle, and we filmed a short film essentially for the Paris video, which I'm really excited to share. It's a story of love and heartbreak and ultimately of self-liberation. And we shot the whole thing just by ourselves, just through a lot of grit and passion. But I'm working on a full-length album, definitely going to be releasing more music. My advice to artists is that if you love it, continue to do it. Don't let anything stop you. Have patience, because the process is going to take the time that it takes. And really, look at the people around you. Sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to meet the right person or the right gatekeeper, but the people around you, your friends, your family, your fans, your co-workers, they might have the one connection or the one idea that can make a huge difference for you. But more than that, it's just the love. It's just being supported by people who love what you do that's going to carry you through. Totally. Big thank you to Character Media for having me today and for giving us the chance to perform and tell our story. Thank you for listening and for watching. Thank you for your support for artists like myself. You can follow me on Instagram at This Is NISHA. You can hear the original music on Spotify or Apple or Tidal or wherever you listen to your music. Just search NISHA and any one of the songs. I'll see you there.
And everything I had that I've given to you, and anything you asked, that is what I do. When I was